Put my pomelo there. Gotta go get another one. Wait for that thing to shut down. Your movies, if you're not up to speed yet, this is The Weather Underground. Available on DVD on Amazon. It also looks like this. It's a documentary of the civil rights movement back in the 1960s. And if you want to know what's causing all this bullcrap, Mahatma Gandhi said the worst form of oppression, I mean, the worst form of violence is oppression. Actually, oppression is the worst form of violence. And this is the biggest oppressor ever walked on 2 feet here in the United States. I don't know what it's like in other countries. I've never been to other countries, so I can't speak for those other countries. But in this country, this is the biggest oppressor ever walked on 2 feet. Watch the documentary, America, Freedom to Fascism, by Aaron Russo, and you will learn who the biggest oppressor ever walked on 2 feet is. Okay? Make sure you're up to speed with that. That is the root cause of all the violence and garbage that's going on. Okay? It's about that. He put his neck out on the line. He was a martyr. Nobody else had the balls to expose this rascal. Okay. So let me show you something. That's the battery pack that I need to build this system. You know, I've searched high and low, thought of all different options for the battery. Do you see the price on there? This is on Facebook Marketplace. That's the battery power pack. I guess they call them a power wall. And that's what I'm going to need for the system that I plan on building. But the way it looks right now, it looks like I'm not going to build this system until next year. Because I'll be busy in the summer. I won't be able to build it. But really, it needs 2 people to build it. Because these panels, you're going to need 2x4s. I was thinking of just throwing it out on the bench. This bench that I have out there. And you would need 2 benches. So I need another bench, which I do not have. So you're looking at getting some lumber, some 2x4s. Because the panels are 7 feet by roughly 3.5 feet. And they're heavy. And you want to put them up high. You don't want to just have them low where they could get damaged. So I'm thinking they need to go up on top of the shed. I have a shed out there that is, let me see, it's I don't know, it's about 7 feet by 12. Yeah. So you can fit 3 of them up here. You know, with some type of extension, a I just put some extension, 2x4 extensions, and that way they'll have something to mount onto, because you don't want them to fly away. They got lots of what do you call that? They're huge, so if wind comes by, it's gonna rip it all to shit. It's gonna rip everything off if wind comes by and catches them. They've got a lot of space. They're 7 feet by 3 feet, 3.5 feet, and these are powerful. And 550 watts each panel. And that's the best way to go, because they have some panels right now I could build for $120, and it would be basically 1,400 watts, and it's only $120. But you're talking 8 panels, and so you're going to have to take 4 panels, hook them up in parallel, then take the other 4 panels, hook those up in parallel, and then connect them together in series to get your 48 volts. It's going to be higher. I think it's going to be like 56 volts or something. And then I think the control panel regulates it down to, I'll figure that, cross that bridge when I get there. I don't know how they're doing it, but I'm pretty sure it's done through the controller. And the controller is not very expensive. It's basically a regulator, but it does a whole bunch of different other things. It's got a microprocessor in it. And so it's going to have to go up on top of that shed. And so if by some miracle I'm able to financially do it this summer, then that would be God's will, I guess. But if not, I think we're probably looking at next year to build the device. That's a crying shame, because who wants to build it in winter, right? When it's raining and cold and cold and snow and wind blowing, and you can't harness too much solar energy. Well, you can, because it's still, over here in California, it's still sunny, even in January, in deep winter. In deep winter, you still have sunshine. And you have clear skies, clear sun, just as clear as it is right now. And it's almost March. You have the same amount of sunlight. And so by some miracle, maybe I'll be able to build it this summer. And but yeah, you would have to have 4 and 4, hook them up in series, and that's not all. They weigh 30 pounds each. I was thinking of going and picking them up today, right, in my car, and they're 2 inches high. So to get those 8 panels is going to be like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's going to be like that high, the panels, and 200 pounds, because they're 30 pounds each. So I think it's better just to get the 3 panels. 3 panels, 500 watts a piece. Well, I'll start out with 2. 500 watts a piece, but I think I've decided to get the battery, really what's going to power the unit. The battery and the inverter. That's what powers the system. If the battery's charged up, you're good to go. Okay, so I think I'm going to get the battery first, and then the inverter. The inverter's only $259, but the battery, the price is coming down, and it's a used battery. I'm pretty sure it's used. Let me see here. No, it's new. They're new, and it's the newest technology battery, and it's $550. You can see it was $650 before, so it's $550. Let me show them to you. That's the battery right there. Horizontal, but you can stand them up vertical, and they call them power walls. And so there you can see he's got 9 of them for sale. And so I think I'm just going to first purchase the battery, and then I'm going to purchase the inverter, and it'd be kind of difficult to charge it because it's a 48 volt battery. And at least it better be. Let me see here. Should be. I think it's 51 volt. Yeah, 51.2 volts. So it's basically 48 volt system. Yeah, it's 51 volts, and why is it saying nominal power 3,000 watts? It didn't say that just a minute ago. And these are coming from China. It said 6,000 watts, and now it's saying nominal is 3,000. Okay, here it's on the listing, it says 6.5 thousand. And then up here when I'm reading the specs off of it, it says nominal power is 3,000. It says total capacity is 6.5 kilowatts. Rated capacity is 6 kilowatts. So why is nominal power 3,000 kilowatts? I don't know what the hell that's new to me. That's why I need to take that class. I want to take the class that teaches this. Solar power units, charging stations, and electric vehicles. What more could you ask for $1,750? That's like giving it away. But the only problem is it's taught on the computer. There's no books. So I think they need to change that. And but it's the only class available. Nobody else is teaching it. They got one in San Diego and one in Canada. The one in Canada is called Brown's College, I think. The one down here in San Diego is called Oceanside, California. It's called Mira Costa. And anyway, so yeah, we got to figure out what that is, because it's got to be able to put out. Oh, that's good, because it's really only going to be putting out 1,000 watts anyway. It's just that you need the 6.5 kilowatt hour so that you can run it for 5 hours. But the system is going to be running on level 1 charging. So it's only going to be, supplying 1,000 watts for 5 hours. Well, in this case, 6 hours. So that's even doubly better. And it's only $550. It's on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. And there you can see he's got a few of them. So just got to run down there and pick one up. Then I'm going to order the inverter off of Amazon, which is $259 for a 48 volt inverter. It inverts it to your regular house type electricity. And that way you can just plug it in and go for it. And Then I'll just get me a little 48-volt charger. It'll take what, probably 3 or 4 days to charge it, maybe 72 hours, and it'll charge the battery. And that way I can be playing with the system. And then to kick her on full free energy, I'll start hitting it with the solar panels one at a time. 500 watts a piece, 5, 10, 1500 watts. And the solar panels are like, I think they're $150 each, something like that. And so that's where we are with that system. Now, moving on to a little bit of psychology. I hope the signal's good. Let me check the signal. Moving on to a little bit of psychology. Let me check my system. Yeah, because I don't even want to try it with regular lead acid batteries. They just can't handle it. Okay. So let me check this. Juice. I think I'm gonna go jump in my car and go check and see if they put the pomegranate juice in the locker. It says that they're holding it. I'm like, I don't know if that's in the locker or not. But let me just check my signal here. Okay, there's no people in here. That's okay. I got some people leaving comments. That's good. Thanks for liking the video. The signal looks kind of okay. Now let's talk about a little bit of psychology and people. There's a difference in people. There's people when you're young and people at end of life. There's different stages. And end of life starts at, let me see. It's been 12 years since I took I was in my psychology class. In psychology, what age begins the end of life stage? Erik Erikson's stages of psychosocial development. Erik Erikson was pretty good at this. He also come out with the thing about up to when you're 8 years old, and it all completely makes sense. Unlike other people whose theories are just bizarre. They're not based in reality. His does. So it begins at age 65. That's end of life. And so it is. If you want to know who the culprit is, nobody gives a shit. Everybody's a bunch of selfish freaking pigs. I don't know if pigs is the right word for it. The Black Panther Party with that term, but I don't remember what the exact term was. I don't know. Are pigs selfish? I don't know. I've never raised pigs, so I don't know where they're getting it from. But people who've raised pigs, should comment on this. Why do people say you're a selfish pig? Are pigs selfish? We need to get to the bottom of this. But anyhow, nobody gives a damn about anybody except for themselves. But this person did. He cared about humanity, truth and justice, fairness, and he exposed this. And this is what's responsible for all the turmoil, all the agony, and that's going on, the misery, the depression. It's because of these rascals that he exposed. And like I said, he's the only one who had the balls to expose them, because back in the day, they would straight take you off the planet. They're the freaking some real bad hombres. And so that's the basis of this, what I'm going to be talking about here, this psychology. So we have a lot of people living out homeless. Why are they homeless? Well, they say, well, they're a drug addict, right? Or nobody wants them. Their family, they're big old freaking perverts, so nobody wants them. And or they're sexual deviants. And so a lot of people are messed up, right? They try to be the Brady Bunch. And not realizing that this is just smoke and mirrors. It's fake. It's created by Lucifer. Basically, these people are fooling you with the Brady Bunch. Okay? Making you think this is the way it's supposed to be. And just basically running off, that Lucifer knows that people are freaking selfish. That's how it functions. And so they control Hollywood. And if you want to know who they is, then read this book. You can't say who they are, but it's getting closer. I've heard some people actually saying their name, okay? Where before you couldn't, or you would get banned, like they done to David Icke, okay? It's Lucifer claiming to be the glorious one, truth, and if you expose them, if you say their name. So I'm not going to say their name. You want to find out about it? Read this book. It's also available in Spanish. Okay? You think it's bad in our English-speaking language that the people are in freaking Stupidsville. Okay? The programs they're showing on the Latino TV shows, in my opinion, is even more powerful. I'm surprised that Brazil is not screwed up sexually like the United States is. Okay? And who do you think was on Epstein Island? Do you think it was Brazil? Wrong. The United States of America. Okay? And so I want to say that in all of this stuff, all these problems, that people have your brain, the subconscious is very powerful. And I will come back and talk about it later. But basically it's this in a nutshell. The brain has many, I would say it has many. It has more than one, let's say that. Defense mechanisms. Okay? One is where it lies to itself. This is an ego defense mechanism because it is unacceptable for the ego to feel useless. and worthless. So it has ego defense mechanism. This is how come you got people who are all effed up in their mind. And because they feel like Mr. McBig effing nobody. Okay? And when they hear that, it blows their lid because they are in denial. And denial is not a river in Egypt. And so not only do you have this type of ego defense mechanism, but I think that the subconscious mind also has a defense mechanism to protect itself from killing itself. Okay? Like drinking itself to death with alcohol and or drugs, other drugs. And so I think that a lot of people, when they end up in certain programs, is because it was their last effort. The subconscious mind knew where it was going. The body knows. And it will do things, create situations, drastic situations, to save itself from peril. And so, that's what I think. It's better to be in certain situations. You think that you've lost it all, but even when you're in your darkest times, you can still count your blessings by listening to others with more experience than you. And count your blessings and your fortitudes. And so that's all I've got for right now. I'll come back and make another live stream later. We'll talk to you later. Signing out from the Central San Joaquin Valley in California on this Sunday. Give a shout out to the people leaving comments. Give yourself a hand. For some reason, it does not want to focus in. This is not my best camera here. Yeah, but it always does that. I wonder why. It will not focus in on those. There we go. Okie dokie. 2 people leaving comments. Oh, I got the thing lifted up over there. All right, so stay tuned for more valuable insights. Sorry I can't be more specific, but that's basically the sentiment in a nutshell.